Came across this little graphic some time ago, and it's a great little graphic that just shows or talks about keeping your bucket full, and basically it's showing that we're always trying to fill the bucket up with sleep, nutrition, and recovery, but it's consistently draining out the bottom. And we just need to be aware of getting that balance right when you're trying to actually refill that bucket all the time with your sleep, nutrition, and recovery, and how much is going at the bottom. When I worked as a sprint coach for many years, I was hammering home to the athletes all the time, in simple terms, that they needed to actually focus on the recovery. Overtraining was a big thing in our space where everyone wants to improve all the time, and you're consistently trying to get better, and you end up overtraining. From novice athlete to elite athlete, novice, intermediate, advanced, and elite, the novice athlete will make great gains. Sometimes they'll be very fatigued, but they will make substantial gains. And as your career progresses, you want to keep those gains going. And you get to this elite phase, and you've been training for a very long time, you can handle big training sessions, but the gains don't come as fast. And sometimes you feel that more is better. So you keep trying to train more and more, trying to get that those gains that you used to get when you were an intermediate athlete. And you need to actually think about the recovery aspect of it. And one thing we used to talk about training all the time was the 1%ers. What are those 1% things that I can actually do to continue to improve? And that might be, get to bed half hour earlier, drink more water during the day, take a walk a couple of times a day to facilitate recovery, maybe an ice bath if that's your thing, or a sauna. But I also used to say to the guys that, recovery starts the moment we finish our training session. So, whether that's a cool down at the track, or, if you're in the gym doing some light stretching, some rolling and so forth. But overtraining is a big killer, and we need to understand, what overtraining actually is, to basically help that, to fill that bucket up all the time. And grinding out hard sessions all the time, it doesn't mean that you'll get faster, stronger, or fitter. It might just mean that you're really good at grinding out hard sessions. And I had one of those athletes where he could just actually train so hard all the time that I had to pull him back. And I saw this with an Australian sprinter many years ago. She went on to run the Olympic Games, Jana Pittman. When she was 18, she was just a grinder. And I saw her coach all the time, basically have to stop her because she just wanted to do more all the time. The other big indication of, sometimes when you're training, and a good indication when to actually pull back and sometimes even stop the session, is when your mechanics or your form start to break down. From track point of view, when you see the runner's mechanics start to break down, it may be that they're not using their glutes correctly, or their glutes have stopped firing, so they're loading their hamstrings and their adductors too much, which was notorious for the sprinters, particularly doing block work. And for Olympic lifters, it's the same. But any type of work, you see it in the CrossFitters today, when their form starts to break down, it's normally time to stop. Neurologically, that your body's not firing in the correct order, so particular muscles aren't working. And you can often see this is the case when you've trained that way for a long period of time. You go off to a physical therapist and they get you to do some basic tests and you can't complete them. You're flopping to one side because you can't turn your glute on. So I think it's really important, that grinding out hard sessions all the time is not always the key to improving. And we can't be improving at the same speed that we did when we were a novice athlete. Anyway, I just want to touch on that little graphic, keep your bucket full. It's a good reminder that you need to be constantly filling up your bucket and doing the right things with, sleep, recovery, and nutrition. Hope you're having a great day, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.